Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your quantum reading with me, Jocelyn, the Quantum Queen. So, let me dive into my normal intro. Feel free to fast forward if you guys are sick of hearing this. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And as always, welcome to my cross watchers. And cross watcher, you could be dealing with a Taurus, and the message could be for you directly. So feel free to take it however it resonates with you and your situation. Keep in mind these are general readings, so if it doesn't resonate with you, it's probably not for you. So don't try to force it. If you guys would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can find my information down below in the description box. Also, if you guys would like to make a good karma donation, that information is also located down below. And just wanted to say thank you to those who have liked and subscribed, and to those who have made donations. I appreciate it so much. And just make sure when you hit the subscribe button that you also tap the bell off to the side so that you can get notifications for whenever I go live. Okay, so Taurus. Here is what I was getting for you guys, all right? Okay, yeah. Okay, I cannot make up these cards that just popped out. That was perfect. Okay. Taurus. What I was getting is that, okay, so you're in some type of relationship currently where you're pissed. Like, and I'm just gonna say that straight up. There's something that's really like, and maybe even for some of you this might be too intense to say that, but that's what I'm getting with the Cobra, especially because a lot of the times this is around like sexual issues, just because of the phallic type of look of this card, right? I mean, so it could be a fire sign that you're dealing with, an Aries, Leo, Sag. I'm also saying that just because of the fire ant as well, okay? This is a swarming, and I think that Taurus, like, this is what I love about Tauruses, okay? Taurus is literally like the Ferdinand the Bull. They are seriously the most easygoing people. Like, they like to have fun. They just want to feel light and happy about life. But when you come up against them, and really this could be said a lot about a lot of humans, but when they get triggered, it is intense. It's like the bull in the pasture. It's like, boom, they come charging. They're gonna ram you a million times. Like, it's scary when you piss a Taurus off. So that's what I'm seeing. Like that's kind of how I've always viewed Tauruses. So Taurus, I think there's someone in your life that if you're not just full on angry, you could just be holding some resentment about a way that a person has treated you or some type of injustice here, okay? But you are tempted to, this is kind of what I was getting with the bull energy, you're tempted to swarm someone and just attack, like come in for a full-blown like attack on them is what I'm getting. And I'm not laughing, like, well, I am laughing, but it's only because of the picture that I'm seeing in my head, just like how literal this is. But it's not funny what you're going through at all. Like, I'm not downplaying that at all, what has happened with you. Now, I want to say that it's between a connection just because we have the golden egg. This is the cosmos, like the ethers. And I feel like, in a way, Taurus, this is actually you, where this is kind of like your vulnerability in a way that you're protecting, and it's coming out in anger, in this kind of intense anger of the cobra and the fire ant. This passion is coming out because in behind closed doors, behind everything, is because you're protecting your vulnerability. Something happened to make you feel like less than, or it affected your self-worth or your self-esteem, and it made you feel like rejected, and that's what you're protecting. This, even if you guys want to take it this way, this could even be your heart that you're just protecting, that something got to the depths of you, some type of pain, and what you're wanting to do is, in a way, you don't really know how to handle it. So I think what you're doing is you're going to another person, like, and this is what I'm saying, okay? We've got the zebra, another fire sign. So this is really strongly about some type of fire sign, a sun, moon, or rising in here with Aries, Leo, Sag. But here is where I actually want to say, Taurus, that this is you. Where, and this is really fascinating that this is coming out as you, because obviously we don't have any earth signs in here, but there is emotions, and I want to say that this could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces that you're dealing with. But I think that in a way, because your emotions were affected, and this is again how you're kind of coming across, like oh, let me change that, I'm so sorry. Actually, okay, scratch that. I know I'm being crazy. Let's go to the entanglement of all of this. I think this is probably the person that you're dealing with. These are two people that you're dealing with, Taurus, where this is the underlying passion that's underneath you, right? Some intense emotions going on here in regards to this person. And maybe this person is kind of like, how do I explain this? They're the type of person that kind of needs variety or change or things, and it's also a joking kind of person. Like they don't really take things seriously. Like they maybe joke around about stuff, or do you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to paint a picture of how the zebra is coming across to me, is like they like to laugh at life. They don't like to go to being serious or like getting too deep in emotions. They avoid that. Okay, they don't like going there. They like to keep things light, joking, and maybe that can even sometimes frustrate you, Taurus, because Taurus, you can be quite deep. Like you have that, you like that. So I think the fact that you aren't really getting it from that person, these like deep emotions, it could be tempting you to go to someone else for this depth. Does that make sense? Because here, like I was saying, it doesn't have to be a water sign, but at the least it's someone who provides you that emotional healing that you are wanting and desiring in your life. Maybe, and that's what you're maybe taking a look at, and why you're kind of vacillating between these two polar opposites. Someone who's kind of light and takes things like I'm saying, the way they're coming across is that it can sometimes literally just annoy you that they can't even go deep, that they can't even touch any type of emotional connection. And that's what you're taking a look at. Now, let me take a step back here, because I think, again, you're kind of feeling tempted to go to someone else for this emotional depth. And all that's happening, any type of shame or guilt or maybe fear that you're experiencing, if this is actual cheating, okay, the cheating is just like a societal perception type of thing. Does that make sense? It's just like a chemical programming that we've all been programmed with, that cheating has been associated with shame and guilt. It's just a vibrational patterning that's been taught to us, passed down from our parents, and also taught by society. It's just like this huge label that's been put on it. So take away the good or bad, and once you do that, you can start like taking a step back in this perception and look at the nitty-gritty details. Like, why is this happening, Taurus? At the core, what's going on here? And I think what's happening is it's just showing you like a lot of different things, not only about yourself, but also about like what you truly want. And there's no need for you to feel guilty about the things that you want. If you're wanting a deeper emotional connection with someone, then you deserve that. And maybe in the grand scheme of things, that's what this zebra is helping you to discover and create in your life, is a deeper connection. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there, because if this is some type of like, oh, third party, what's going on here type of thing going on, then what's happening is You might be addicted to the shame of going to another person, Taurus. Like, so that's kind of something you need to be keeping in check, is like, in your mind, are you thinking like, oh, are you worried about getting caught? Or are you going to someone else out of pain? Like, maybe this zebra even hurt you. You've discovered something that maybe they did, or you're holding some type of resentment that, like, they've done something to you, they've cheated, or however this applies to your guys' situation. This could even be in a work dynamic, believe it or not. Like, this could even be someone where you've figured out that they've done something and you're holding some type of resentment, but however this is playing out, the foundation is all the same, that you're having some type of chemical addiction where you're shaming someone, or maybe even you're shaming yourself, Taurus. Like, maybe you're making decisions and maybe in the very back of your mind, your subconscious mind, you're feeling guilty about maybe like going to someone else for emotional connection and talking about this person, because at the core, what's going on here is there's triangulation, like straight up. There isn't full blown, this is kind of like unclear communication. It's like both of you aren't, and maybe you're feeling justified in a way, Taurus, like maybe because you feel like you can never get this person to open up about their emotions, that you feel justified to go to a third person. And it is just what it is, you know, that's what you're gonna do. But it all comes down to the way that you guys were raised. Like, you guys are still playing out old dynamics from when you were raised, how you had probably parents that didn't confront issues straight on. Like, maybe it was dealt with in anger, and maybe you guys even had parents where you might not even know this, but maybe there was some cheating that happened. And so you've taken on a pattern of a fear of being cheated on or rejected or abandoned, and now that's pretty much playing out. Does that make sense? It's a chemical, like, addiction that you have to the shame of cheating, or to the shame of triangulation, like, you know, where it's like you hold communication back, maybe in a manipulative way, because if, Taurus, you're not getting something that you want, sometimes you can maybe pull the silent treatment or something like that, which is very passive aggressive. It's a manipulation. And that's the other thing I'm being drawn to, is the golden egg. I'm being drawn to that, like, sometimes the way that a Taurus can come across their fiercity, it causes other people to walk on eggshells, which is not fair. Like, there just needs to be some straight up communication, and not from this. I'm highly recommending that. Is that when the communication comes from this, it's going to blow up, and then you might regret that, honestly. Because that's what I'm saying too. You might have resentment now for what's gone on in this dynamic, but you won't even know the type of shame and guilt that you'll feel upon yourself if you blow up. Okay, you'll go through those emotions. We all do, whether we want to admit it or not, when the blow up happens, okay? So, I am so sorry, guys. Like, I know that was a lot for... Let me dive into the tarot and get some more details on this. Yep, there's Tower. What, and more fire. Like, I can't even make that up. That was hilarious. And what did I say too? Here's the communication. So that's pretty much straight up that I think that you guys are pretty close to having like a tower or a blow up moment. And look, communication, something about sex, like a new passion. Maybe there was someone that came in as, again, a third party type of thing. So let me see what else we can get quickly. Yeah, interesting. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, so obviously this is the family unit. Okay, so this could be, and if anything, it could apply to work. I'm just throwing that out there, but I am getting a little bit more strong of a sense of a couple, you know, like a family unit, whatever this is. But it's like, that might, and the other thing I'm getting too is it's kind of just clarifying what I was saying about that you guys are still playing out dynamics from your family unit, what you were raised with, because the Ten of Pentacles, that's a long history. So you guys are still playing out fears and anxieties that have been passed down by your parents. That's why it's happening at the core. It's a psychological, a vibrational, chemical programming within the cells of your bodies, okay? That's all that's happening. So if you can actually detach yourself from the emotional responses that you're having from all of this, you'll be able to take a stand back, and it will help you to detach and make like clearer decisions, Taurus. Does that make sense? So the more that you can stay emotionally detached, and especially detached from this intensity, this fire that you're wanting to maybe like put it right, like you want to attack. You want to come in and swarm with that fire ant too. That can be a sting, okay? That's why I was like, holy freaking crap, this is really intense. Because I think that you've realized someone in your experience was, maybe you feel taken advantage of. This is lies, deceit. This is someone just like kind of thinking in a way that they can get away with whatever they want, and that no one's gonna know, that they're kind of sneaking, Taurus. But you know what's interesting is I'm getting that it was kind of on both sides, because the entanglement is there. That's what you guys have to understand. And even though you guys are focusing on, oh, this is worse, that's what's interesting, is both of you are thinking the same exact things. Both of you are thinking this person, what they did was worse. Both of you are thinking that. But at the core, both of you have this type of energy. And here's where there's the Five of Pentacles, shut out in the cold. This is the fear, exactly what I was saying. The fear of rejection and abandonment, here it is. Feeling rejected and abandoned and shut out in the cold. So I think that that's kind of what you're getting close to doing, Taurus, is maybe shutting someone out in the cold, rejecting them. It's almost like you're wanting to give them a taste of their own medicine because you feel rejected. That's the fear that they triggered within you. The type of stuff, it's like I said, it's all freaking emotional programming. It's chemical releases. That's why I was saying, if you can just pull back and kind of detach yourself from the details of what's going on, you'll just see that you're playing out the same type of stuff that your parents passed down to you. And it's no fault of their own. They had no idea what the crap they were doing, and that's why we are kind of forced to have compassion, because it's kind of like an abused dog that goes around biting people. Well, yeah, they've been hurt and abused. Like, that's gonna be what they do, and you kind of have to have compassion about that. That's what's happening here, is that you guys are just doing exactly what your parents taught you to do. And again, they didn't know what the crap they were doing. So here, this is what I think is kind of interesting. Here's the Knight of Cups. I think that someone feels a lot of remorse, a lot of regret for what's happened, how it has gotten to this point, because here was at the core, the foundation. This is a soulmate bond, a deep connection. I mean, but here's where it's coming in upside down. I think that there's kind of, Taurus, where you're rejecting someone. There's a breakup that might be happening, okay? And I am getting a sense that maybe even one or both of you don't really want it to get there, but it's kind of like the pain is so intense that the separation, the retreat, the distance between the two of you might actually be beneficial right now, because you guys have got to take some time to figure out what you truly want, what's going to be in both of your best interests. And this is why I'm saying this, because we've got Six of Pentacles. So this is about, I think that there was an uneven energy give and take in the relationship. That's why there's this feeling taken advantage of, because this might be the core issue. This is also money. So this is why I was saying, and I even talked about this, I think, in the Cancer video, is that this is how these relationships get to this point, is if there's codependency and there's an unequal give and take in the relationship, either financially or with emotions or with those type of things, right? Because the males, they provide financially, and the females, they provide emotionally. And if there's an uneven give and take in those dynamics, and actually if if the male, this is why we're coming more into balance of the masculine and the feminine within every single person, is because there's a need for that type of stability and independence with each person for relationships to actually work these days. So that's where the clarification is coming in with this Ace of Swords. It's like there's going to be a lot of clarity when there's this independence that's taken, when the disconnection happens, where you guys kind of take the space that you're needing. The breakup kind of happens here. Once this independence happens, like you guys have some time to yourselves, there's going to be a lot of clarity that's going to be coming into you, that's going to really help clear up whether you want this person in your life or not, like whether you're going to cut them out completely or whether you're going to give it a chance. And that's why I think it's interesting. We've got the world upside down. So I think, Taurus, you might not completely close it out, because that's the thing. Always, every single freaking Taurus I've ever met will not give up on a relationship. They will fight to the freaking very end. Tauruses and Capricorns are very much like this. And I would even say Virgos. A lot of Virgos I met, but not completely. But the earth signs do tend to work on things than a lot of other signs from what I have experienced. So Taurus, like I said, let me go ahead and dive into this further in the extended. If you guys want to join me over there, you definitely can. Just go down below in the description box, click on the PayPal link, send over $10, and please remember to put in the comments or the description Taurus, the title of the video, the published date, and your email address where you would like me to send the link over for you to view it. So if this is kind of where we leave things, Taurus, I'm sending you guys so much love, wishing you all the very best, and I will see you in your next reading. Take care.